And we're back here, main events. Oh, we had to get Coop in here. He showed up after I had to take the early break. He showed up after that, and he was just over there, just shooting stuff over about wrestling. Yeah, how excited he was for it.
I was sharing with Steve and Dale my only really foray into wrestling. Me and my brother, we were young, and our dad took us to a wrestling match. I couldn't even tell you what it was. That's how young we were.
Okay.
But it would come on TV, and my grandfather would watch it all the time. And I tell my grandfather, and we called him Gramps. I said, Gramps, that's fake. And he's like, oh, you see that blood there? I guess that's fake. You see that body slam? I guess that's fake. So they took us. My dad took me and my brother Gary to the wrestling match, and Tito Montez. He was like, I remember that name. He was like really one of the big favorites there.
Yeah.
Well, there was this
big name back in the day.
Yeah. And so we actually have ringside seats. Ooh. We're along the ringside, and so a couple of the wrestlers get outside the ring, and they're right in front of us, and they're just boom, 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 and blood's just flying everywhere. I'm scared as all get out. I'm really scared.
How
now.
old do you think you were at this?
I think I was probably like 7 or 8.
Yeah, that can be intimidating.
Yeah, and so then they get back in the ring, and there's this big black guy with a big face mask over. They call him he had something move called the Claw.
Yeah,
and he would just get down, and so this lady, this old lady, she was just yelling. I'm so scared for her. I'm like, lady, please sit down. I didn't enjoy that at all, but that was my only foray into wrestling.
I would love it.
Because you're 7, 8. You don't know. You can say it's fake all you want, but you get in there. Look, it's scripted. It's not fake. They really do take body beatings. They actually have more injuries than football players and hockey players.
Oh, stop! My Lord in heaven above. Jeez. Steven's sitting here saying, yeah, wrestling's not fixed. The NFL's fixed because of a poster.
Yeah, they put a poster out with them on there. The refs throw flags. Nobody sees anything, but a ref throws a flag out there and calls something.
Have you heard this?
No.
Back in September, a poster came out.
A poster? Like
a
poster, real poster?
Yeah,
okay.
with a player from each NFL team walking towards San Francisco. And it's like a triangle, more guys in the back.
The road to Super Bowl 60.
Yeah,
okay.
and then it gets narrow. And the first two that are closest to the Santa Clara thing are the Seattle quarterback,
Sam Darnold,
and New England quarterback. Yeah. So everybody goes, it was fixed.
It was fixed. Absolutely.
I think that's some AI generated stuff there.
No, it came out in September.
Stop.
Absolutely, it came out in September.
And they say NFL already knew who's going to be there.
Here it is, Coop. Right here. Look at this. This is right here. Look at that. Look right here at the front. As I scroll in here. Oh, it's not working. Right here. We're doing it on air here. Yeah. Look who's in the front there. Drake May, Sam Darnold, right there. Oh, look at those two guys.
Well, so is Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, but he's off to the side. He's on the front there. Don't get all crazy.
All right.
Yeah. They pick the most two improbable teams to make it are in the front there. Is what you're saying?
He's saying wrestling's not fixed.
The NFL's fixed. Guarantee it.
That came out in September, Coop.
But I think if you look at
that, Purdy's way in the back, Barkley's way in the back, Mahomes, Burrow way in the back. Look at that. You tell me that's not fake right there. Even Herbert's up toward the front.
Okay.
Come on.
Now, it would be funny if they were like in pecking order
exactly.
of elimination. Like Stafford was in front too, and
Coop, you guys can deny your eyeballs all you want. The rest of us will see what's out there.
Okay.
Well, don't tell me. Don't tell me the NFL's not fake with this.
And they have the remote controls that guide the footballs and stuff, right?
Coop, don't be ridiculous. It doesn't get that dumb. You just influence it with flags and refs and bad calls and stuff like that. You mean to tell me that you also don't think it's fake with this Bill Belichick Hall of Fame stuff going on right now?
Oh, that I just don't understand at all. Look, at least from a baseball writer standpoint, the idiocy of them keeping some of the great legends of the game out, they can use that steroid issue. I don't know what. I mean, if what do you want to throw in Deflate Gate or Spy Gate? I mean, come on, stop it.
But
man.
baseball has a clause of how you act off the field can affect if you get in or not. Football doesn't have that. So baseball, when they say that off the field stuff can keep people out, there's actually a rule in their deal that can do that. Football doesn't have it.
But see, my argument with baseball that whole time is that there were no rules relative to steroids.
It was not illegal in the game.
And so you can't institute any off the field stuff when there were no rules.
Well, I know,
relative
but baseball writers traditionally will keep guys out if they weren't good to them. Oh, that guy's a jerk to me.
That's taking it personally, and I wonder if that's the case for some of the football writers.
Well, because right now we know a Kansas City writer said no to Belichick, and we know an Indianapolis voter from Indianapolis said no. There's a certain group of teams so far we know, and I'm willing to bet if it's 10 people that were direct competitors to the Patriots in that time frame are the ones that keep them out, that means they took it personal.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. I hated Brady. I hated Belichick, and the true honest reason why I was jealous.
Uh-huh.
They won all the time. I got so sick and tired of seeing them in there.
Yeah.
But I'm not stupid enough to deny their greatness, their legendary, iconic stature in the game.
They did stuff that was never done before or since in the history of National Football League.
Look,
including Spygate, I might add. That was ingenious.
Look, Belichick had 9 Super Bowl appearances. He won 6. There's not a single coach ever to grace the sidelines of the NFL who can touch that. And if you're not a first ballot Hall of Fame coach with those numbers, there should never, ever be a first ballot.
I'm going to get Bruce the quiz. Yep. So there have been 3 first ballot Hall of Fame NFL head coaches.
I didn't realize that.
There have been 3.
I didn't know that.
Can you name them?
Well,
they're older.
I'd probably say I'd have to take the guys that won the most, probably George Halas, John Shula, and who do I want to throw in there? I'll throw in the hat, Tom Landry.
Tom Landry and Don Shula are 2 of them.
Wow, it's not George Halas?
No.
Okay.
See, you're going. I did that too. I went old school.
Yeah, and then there's one other old school.
There's one other old school?
Yeah.
Well,
70s.
Yeah. But I'm not. Yeah, but old school to me is like going back to.
Must be Chuck Noll.
Yes, those are the 3 that have been first ballot Hall of Fame head coaches. Now, my contention, Coop, is this: is the NFL. They love this. This is the off week. There's really no whole lot of talk about what's going on in the NFL. Next week, obviously, will be at Media Row, all this news and stuff. But this week's kind of a slow week. Well, what's everybody talking about?
Cardinals
are they talking about
Raiders.
the NBA? Are they talking about hockey? Or are they talking about the Hall of Fame vote?
Yeah. Look. Bill Belichick is not a favorite of a lot of media to talk to.
No.
I mean, he just is who he is. He reminds me so much of Greg Popovich. I hated interviewing Popovich.
Yes.
And I had to do it a number of times because the Suns and the Spurs were big-time rivals.
Right.
You know, during the Nash and Tim Duncan era, all that stuff. But I hated it. But I still acknowledge Popovich's greatness.
Right.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, that's the problem I have with voters, baseball and football is you can hate them all you want. Like I can't stand Bill Belichick. Like, I made it clear. I just don't like the guy. Period. End of story. For a lot of reasons. But even I'm like, all right, you got to vote this guy in. You hold your nose and you vote because you do the right thing to vote him in and stuff like that.
Here's the deal. So, but see, I hated asking him anything because they gave me a tough time. But it wasn't personal. They gave everyone a tough time.
Right.
And so that's just who they are.
Popovich, on the other hand, I think he should be kept out of the Hall of Fame. Well, he's the. I've said this all along, and you know, I'm joking, of course. He obviously should get in, but my argument with him isn't that he's a jerk and you know and all of that stuff. Is he's the guy that fundamentally changed baseball with the rest time.
Basketball.
The rest, the not playing until Christmas. Keeping guys out for lengths of time to give them rest, you know, during the season. He's the guy, the hack-a-shacks. He's the guy that fundamentally changed basketball to what it is today. I hate him for it because this is ridiculous what we're going through.
You know, you can say that, but at the same time, and I get where you're coming from, especially from a fan standpoint. But all he ever cared about was winning. and so he's going to do what he thinks was best for his team. He's not going to
He's
subject his players
also
to,
the guy that before Tim Duncan came out, he refused to. He had minimum players on the bench that year. Refused to put up people on the bench. They didn't sign guys because they were just taking galore to get him. And then he fired his coach and then made himself coach because he knew he had the Twin Towers at that point. And it's just like the guy's just, to me, is like, and then you can get on the off the field stuff, off the court stuff. But just in the basketball sense, it's like, dude, you're a weasel, man.
Yeah, dude, let me tell you something. he could get away with stuff. The NBA has these rules where you have to make yourself available to the media.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so I'm going back to San Antonio for interviews and stuff. So they tell me, Greg Popovich will decide which day which two players to come out, and it's never really hard. It's rarely is it a Tim Duncan, a Tony Parker, or a Manu Ginobili. So and so they learn to appreciate some. I'm like, okay, now we're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They have to be available. Look, I was trying to do a story on Tony Parker and Boris Diaw. They were great friends. Boris Diaw was going to be, I believe, the best man in Tony Parker's wedding to the actress.
Yeah.
I
forget her name, but I know Desperate Housewives girl. Yeah.
And so I'm looking to get an interview. I can't even get there. I mean, Pop's not making these available, and I'm complaining. I'm like, dude, he's in Phoenix. I need to turn this story for our jam session. I mean, I can't. I wound up talking to Don Harris, the NBC sports director in San Antonio, and I said, man, can you please just find a way? Just get a soundbite from me from Tony Parker talking about this. I gave him a question to ask.
Right.
I'll make it work. But man, you shouldn't have to jump through those kind of hoops to do that.
Right.
But that's what Popovich would do, and he'd get away with it.
Especially if it's an off-the-court thing. Like, you wouldn't even want to talk to him about basketball in the upcoming series. Eva Longoria.
He was
Longoria.
he was also the evil one that was sitting there on the sidelines just glancing down as he knew the Suns were going to when the fight broke out and Steve Nash and he was
Don't
watching
get me started
that.
on that.
But so I mean, there's coaches, and even though I can't stand that side of him, even I'm like, all right, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame and go forward. That's my problem with. And I know you were part of the media for a long time. I know we're considered part of the media with what we do, and I'm just like, man, the media profession's just dirtbags, man. Personal, how dare you talk to me that way? Like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Settle down, Tigers.
Yeah.
Good thing Coop never had that attitude.
Yeah. Their PR, and again, San Antonio Spurs PR staff was just the worst to deal
Yeah, but
with.
and
it trickles down from Pops. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't them.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were embarrassed at times too. But that's. I've always said that Popovich and Belichick, a lot of the same characteristics. And guess what? A lot of characteristics on the field and court. They won a lot. So they're in the spotlight, but it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just that's just disappointing. And the thing that I say it all the time. The thing that I hate the most about the NFL Hall of Fame and the way this has all gone down is they actually have me defending Bill Belichick and saying how he's been robbed, and that makes me angrier than anything on the planet. Is having to do that side of things. But really quick on baseball, Diamondbacks, of course, pitchers and catchers report like 2 weeks from now.
Wow.
Pretty quickly.
Wow.
They just signed, Law to a minor league deal, with a chance to get up there.
Signed
They're, not Keith Law. Is that his name? Who's the pitcher? I'll look it up here real quick.
Taylor Clark?
No. I'll look it up here because I just forgot it. My bigger question here is they reportedly, I didn't get to ask you this last week, they're reportedly in the running to get Zach Gallen back on the squad. With a guy that, I'm going to make too much money to even talk to you guys or whatever. Is this just because he's available that's out there? Or is there a chance they can bring Gallen back, one? And then two, do you want him back?
I would take him back, but I do believe at the end of the day, as we get closer to the start of spring training, that you'll start seeing some of those deals take place. I remember when the Diamondbacks signed, I believe it was Eduardo Rodriguez or something like that. The spring training had already started.
Jordan Montgomery, maybe?
Maybe it's Jordan Montgomery.
He came out of nowhere.
Okay,
it was
right.
spring training had started. You hadn't heard anything, and all of a sudden it was Jordan Montgomery's on the team. Wait,
right.
What?
And so we could possibly see something like that with Gallen, but I don't think
same agent as as he had then as well, that Montgomery had at the time. Boris.
Boros? Yeah. Yeah. See, well,
Right.
I think the number one pitcher out on the market is a Boros guy, and he's
Yeah.
still available.
Well, that's what Montgomery fired Boros
Yeah.
after that. Of course, Blake Snell, had to sign for a cheaper amount with the Giants that year because he got too late and stuff like that. But I mean, I have two feelings about this. One is I never thought Gallen was a number one. He's a really good pitcher at times, but he also struggled a lot. Had a great year a couple years ago. You can't take that away from him and stuff like that. And I have no problem bringing him back, but he was making $13 million here. Oh, I'm going to make more going. So some of it just says, all right, it's time just to move on.
Well, I think the arbitration case with the Diamondbacks, I think they offered him $22 million.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, and so he thinks he's like a $35-40 million a year pitcher.
His agent does.
Okay,
At
sure.
a minimum.
Now, he won't get that, but I believe that he would probably get something like 28-30 over like maybe 5 years, and I think that's too rich for the Diamondbacks.
Right.
That's
given
my
what
point.
they
I
have
wouldn't
with Corbin
sign
Burns.
that.
Yeah.
But if
I would
he
sign up
comes
for
back and says, "Hey, well, let's do 1 year,
well,
$20 million, $22 million deal,"
Yeah,
Sure.
are you happy with that?
Sure, I would be, but I don't know that. And see, I think it's important for him if he's trying to reestablish his market that he comes back to a place that he's familiar with, and that would be the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Right.
But that's only if you're going to do a 1 year deal. Now, keep in mind one of the things he has to look at. I don't know if it's something in the water and the training, but there are a lot of Diamondbacks getting those Tommy Johns.
Yeah.
That's what I was just going to say. I think you would. If you want a year back, don't you go someplace else with maybe a contender type of thing to show that you can pitch in those big
Well, I think
games
the
or
Diamondbacks
whatever?
are a contender. I mean, they made the
What's
playoffs
ch-
2 years
but
ago. In the
what's
last 2 years,
changed?
they missed out on the
Yeah.
final
Yeah.
week of the season.
Yeah. So what's changed with this team?
Well, I'll tell you personally.
Arenado is the only addition here that they
I
brought
think you're
in.
talking about this
Obviously,
upcoming
besides pitching, but I mean, what's changed with the staff, with the way they think, with all of that, and then you added a great third baseman, on the backside of his career, but maybe it can be revived here. And anyway, he's an improvement over anything else you'd have at third base.
Well,
But what else has
I
changed?
liked a lot what I saw from Blaze Alexander. The kid had a Brooks Robinson type glove, and he has an arm.
he's still
going
gonna
to
be out there.
Yeah. But they're going to utilize him probably in the outfield. His versatility stands out as well.
Right.
But I think the Diamondbacks really should go after Goldie. I don't think that Goldie. We all know
one-year
that
deal.
he's not what he used to be, but his glove
Yeah.
Right.
is pristine. He can still hit left-handers, so you can platoon him. But more than that, Tyler Locklear that they picked up from the Mariners in that deal with Eduardo Rodriguez. I mean, excuse me, Suarez. Dude, I was not impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
he's
mean,
young. I think you were
jeez.
forcing him into that spot a little too early and
Forcing,
every day.
dude, you're giving a guy an
You-
opportunity to
yeah, but
showcase
if you're
what
not
he
re-
can do.
But you're not ready. You're not ready. But I also agree. Like you can treat Goldie like you do Arenado. Don't worry about your bat. Just go out there and do what you can at the plate. You're here for your defense, type of a situation. Derek Laws, who they just signed to a minor league deal.
Derek Law.
He didn't pitch last year, but he's been around baseball. But this was going to be my point setting it up here. Every year, this is my problem with the Diamondbacks. Every year we go, man, our bullpen sucks.
Yeah.
Our bullpen's falling apart. Injuries lead to that. Guys having to pitch too much, so then their arms just fall off, and then they can't pitch anymore. And they've done very little. They're just getting collection of people to come in here, but they haven't solidified. Now you're getting supposedly a couple guys back, Puck and J Mart back, but they just don't address the bullpen in the way that they need to into this stuff, and it's just disappointing year after year.
You're right. I mean, look. The acquisition of Paul Sewald during their great run to the World Series 3 years ago, that was a great signing.
Fantastic.
But it was just a Band-Aid. And so, but what they showed in the trade for A.J. Puck, as you mentioned, and the development of J Mart is that, hey, we're set. We're set. It wasn't until Tommy John exposed both of them a year ago, so now you're back to square one.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what the panacea or cure-all is because I don't want to trade a Ketel Marte and bring in an experienced arm when I already have a couple guys that I am really high in. I don't have to put a lot of high dollars.
I don't
into.
disagree with that, but you still need setup guys.
You
That,
do.
Like everybody they brought in, okay, they'll perform to a certain extent this year, but you're not going, okay, that guy's going to be good the whole year. that guy's going to be good the whole year. It's like, all right, that guy might come in and have a good month, and then their injuries or whatever, and then you're going to rotate him out and bring a new guy in there. It's just you don't have a set program here, and that's kind of the philosophy of this team. But it's every year though, and at some point you got to go, all right, this is the year we're going to concentrate and bring in a bunch of relievers that have roles and we know what they're going to do. And
you know what gets frustrating when you find a pitcher like a Kevin Ginkel or Ryan Thompson or Andrew Salfrank who get on this roll, and you say, wow, that's the dude. And then the next year,
nothing.
Yeah.
Well, you saw that with
I don't know how
Seawald.
you can sustain it. Yeah.
Seawald came in here, and that looked like the best move you've ever seen the Diamondbacks make. Then the next year started, and you're like, uh-oh, and then they just kept going to him and going to him and going, and it was like, all right, this is blowing his score. But there's a history of Diamondbacks relievers that come in and pop and then just disappear and out of the league before you know it.
I know that some people will disagree with me on that because some people will say that they thought Papa Grande was the best reliever, but to me it was Byung-Hyun Kim. I think what really takes people out of that conversation with as it relates to BK is what happened in games
3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
I actually argue that shows how good he was because he was able to rebound from that.
No,
he was able to go back out there and
he was
like
stellar
that.
before that. I mean, he was just nails.
But I mean,
You know
you had
what?
the Iceman back in the day. Remember him? They brought him in. I can't remember that. I can't remember his name. But he came in here and dominated
Matt
for
Manti?
Matt Manti. Like there's just this long list of underdeveloped relievers, and that's unfortunate. The Dodgers were able to overcome it last year, but they had a terrible bullpen, and they were able to overcome it with the rest of their talent. It's just the Diamondbacks just keep going. That's all right. We don't need bullpen.
Well, but you see, again, I'm going to argue the fact that they keep throwing things at it, and then a lot of times don't work out. Like, again, I've coined this phrase, Coop, the Valley can't have nice things. I've been around as long as you have. The Valley can't have nice things. I mean, look at it. The Diamondbacks bringing in Corbin Burns last year. Hasn't missed.
Yeah.
If he has
Reliable.
one thing, it's he pitches every 5 days.
Yeah.
And he pitches, 3 games?
Yeah.
Tommy John.
Yeah.
Jalen Green with the Suns.
Yeah, never
He
missed
hasn't
it.
missed a game in 3 years.
Yeah.
Now he hasn't played in a game in a year. Valley can't have nice things.
Yeah. Yeah, Dale. Sometimes you do get from a fan perspective, you do feel like your sports teams are cursed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do like the direction of the Phoenix Suns right now.
Ooh.
I don't think the Diamondbacks are that far away. Of course, they're not at the level of the Dodgers or the Padres in terms of their spending, but they have drafted well, and we've seen some nice players produce from that farm system.
But funny you bring that up. ESPN has 10 bottom. They listed all of their MLB farm systems, but the bottom 10. Well, the Diamondbacks come in at number 21, Arizona Diamondbacks thing. Now, and I was like, that's kind of harsh. I haven't seen anybody else in the 20s, to be honest with you. But then Athletic came out with their rankings. Keith Law, this is why I kept thinking Keith Law instead of Derek Law. Keith Law came out with his 30 system. He has Diamondbacks at 14. So right in the middle of the pack for that, which probably is more accurate. But all this talk about how great their farm system is.
Well, I'm just going to tell you what I have seen. I've seen their farm produce some guys like, and most recently Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, obviously he's the obvious one.
He's an all-star.
But
Perdomo,
yeah,
is an all-star. Then you get to some of their depth players, and things like that, and we can even go
Blaze
back.
Alexander, but you can go Tawa right now.
Heck, you can even go back to Goldschmidt.
Came up to that.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that what I've seen, Ryan Nelson, who has pitched extremely well at times, Brandon Pfaadt, the same. I'm seeing some players. We talked about Martinez, J-Mart. From Saul Frank. I've seen the Diamondbacks actually get some players, and then they've actually traded away some that you just kind of scratch your head on after you see what they've done. I mean, people like the pitcher who's won. He has two different colored eyes.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his name right now.
He's won a number of Cy Young with different teams.
Yeah.
Why am I losing his name?
He's old now. I
Yeah,
know.
he is. He's like 41 now.
I know. And I can't believe.
But
his
yeah,
name.
but they've traded away people like that and Ender Inciartes and our All-Star.
But back in the day, that was I believe that was when Kirk Gibson was the manager, right? And it was like he was like who was it? Bowers, I think is who I'm thinking of now. Where he was like he doesn't play baseball the way I want him to play baseball, so we're gonna get rid of him. And then obviously now he's had some problems lately.
That reminds me of the pitcher they drafted from UCLA.
Are you talking about Max Scherzer?
Max
Max
Scherzer.
Scherzer. There we go.
But there was a pitcher
Thank
from
you.
UCLA who had these unorthodox rituals and
Yes.
things like that. And he was really good in college. I think the Diamondbacks made him like a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle him from a cultural standpoint,
yeah.
so they booted him, and he wound up pretty good elsewhere.
Yeah, it's just, and some of that comes to the manager styles and stuff like that over the years, and everything. I'm not saying they don't develop guys. It's just they develop guys less than what they need to do for a team on this side. And then, let's face it, Diamondbacks should complete for a playoff spot, which they've done.
Yeah.
3 of the last 4 years.
Yeah,
They have competed. They've been there at the end and everything. But this team, with their talent, should be a perennial playoff team. I'm sorry, they should be. They should be in the playoffs with the Padres. They should be in the playoffs. Are they as good as them? Maybe not.
No,
but they should be there, and they should compete with them. And it's not good enough that you keep missing. Is my point. You're just missing with this talent. I'm not even going to argue to you the Diamondbacks don't have talent.
Yeah,
I'm arguing they have the talent to get there, and they aren't.
Right. I don't know what happened. They melt down the last 2 years. That final week of the season.
Well, before
they blew like a 10-game lead on the Mets the year before.
But the year they went to the World Series, they had that awful July where they won like 2 games.
Yeah,
last year they struggled to start the season, because Torrey's like, well, we've got 162 games, and you're in a hole, and you have to dig out of it at the beginning.
Yeah, and back to the farm team. I mean, the 3 organizations that stand out to me that produce the best major league players. The Miami Marlins, and they can never hold on to them because they can't afford them.
They don't want to pay them.
But they really develop them. The Atlanta Braves, I mean,
the whole team is.
What they do is amazing. And
they got rid of Freddie Freeman because they had and they got Max Olson, which wasn't part of their deal. But that's what they do as an organization is they just retool with the next young guy that comes up.
Yeah, and the Dodgers and the Tampa Bay Rays haven't been bad either.
No.
Well, Dodgers have the number 2 rated, this is the scary thing is. Dodgers just collect the best talent out there, whether it be major league or minor league. They're the number 2 according to
Who's number 1?
Keith Law Brewers. Everybody has
the
the Brewers
Brewers?
as number 1 in terms of their farm system, which is interesting because they're unloading a lot of their high-priced veterans right now. Is that because of the young squad? But even then, like you said, Mariners are 3, Pirates are 4. And this is the Athletic one from Keith Law there. Guardians are 5, Nationals 6, Tigers 7, White Sox 8,
Wow.
Orioles 9, and 10 is the Red Sox, which is an interesting top 10 list here because you got teams that are anti-competitive right now, White Sox, Nationals, Pirates. But then you also have big spenders in this list. Dodgers and Red Sox are in the top 10.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. What is happening from that perspective? So it's fascinating. By the way, Padres number 30.
The Padres are?
That's what everybody has them low. Yeah,
Wow.
below the Angels.
I know they've unloaded a lot
That's
of
the
their
problem.
farm to get people like
Well, you Darvish, they had a big trade.
The guy
Manny.
Soto.
Yeah,
is what I was
Soto.
thinking
Yeah,
of.
yeah. Yeah, they've unloaded a lot of guys to get those big name guys in there. By the way, Braves right now 27th.
Wow, really?
Yeah, but all their guys are in the majors on their team.
point,
They got to rebuild it at that point.
Good point.
So pitchers and catchers, we're a week and a half, 2 weeks away from them reporting. What are you going to look at here in preseason? Because the last couple of years we focused on Torrey, having starters skip starts in terms of pitchers. To me, it's going to be how. Because when Torrey left the season, he said, we're going to change the way we go into the season next year. Because they've been lackadaisical the last couple of years. With Torrey saying, like I said, it was 162 games. We got to have guys ramp into the season, and they're not ready to start. And I believe that's where a lot of the injuries come from. But I'm going to be paying the most attention to Ketel Marte and how they play him. Are they going to be resting him a lot during a spring training to get him ready for the season and stuff or are they going to push him?
I'm going to see if Torrey's going to be a man that goes back to demanding the attention to details. I mean,
He
the
said
Diamondbacks.
he was going to do it. In his
Yeah,
thing.
the Diamondbacks have committed too many silly errors, unforced errors.
The veterans are doing that.
Yeah, they're giving teams extra outs, and when the Diamondbacks are at their best, their pitchers are pitching to just 3 outs.
Right.
They're not. They don't have these extra outs that allow for the big innings. So if they can really go back to being a philosophy of pitching, defense, and speed, I think they will be right back in the wild card.
Dale might explode the first time Torrey says, "Well, we got to hang on for the playoffs. We have to keep our guys fresh for the playoffs."
Yeah, and it almost seems like they changed their tune. I mean, the year they went to the World Series. I mean, it's like every time their rabbits got on base, I don't care if it was Corbin Carroll or McCarthy. I mean, even Perdomo, everyone was running.
Right.
They were stealing
stopped it.
bases.
Yeah.
You know, they were forcing the other team into mistakes, and they would take the extra base and stuff. They don't even do that anymore.
Yeah, no, it's even worse than that. They traded Suarez last year. They traded Naylor, right, first and third base, and then they started running. And I'll never forget the quote. Torrey goes, "Well, now we got talent on this team that can run." And I'm like, "You've had Corbin Burns all year. What do you mean you can run and be more aggressive?" If I'm that side, and no, the whole that's my issue with the Diamondbacks is from the GM to the manager to the coaching staff. They've gotten complacent and they've changed the way they've managed that made them be successful. And now they do just enough to not make the playoffs now, and it's frustrating.
It is
with the talent. It's not like they're an untalented team. Yeah. They have talent and they're just missing it. So
hey Dale, I want to bring up something. You know, I sat here on Tuesday of this week, and Steve McCullum had me convinced that the Cardinals would have Mike LaFleur as their head coach, and Clint Kubiak would be the Raiders guy. And now I find out that Kubiak's coming in town.
Nope.
And
they're going to Seattle to interview.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you have to make a plane trip to go see him.
Okay, well, whatever the case may be.
The king summons them.
I want to know. I want to know. I mean, where did we go wrong with Steve?
Okay.
I mean, I was all hyped up for this.
Here's okay, to defend because I knew you were going to bring this up. Here's where I went wrong on that.
Okay.
I forgot Michael Bidwell will screw up the best of things. I didn't take that into account. Okay. You don't go on a 2-day interview with somebody. You don't buy him dinner, and then the second day is contract negotiation and all that to wrap up the deal before he goes. 2 things happened on that day. And reports are, which I don't know if I trust, because Cardinals traditionally lie to the national people. We saw that with the Gannon firing, and we know who we're talking about here, right? He sends a message to Schefter. Either Mike LaFleur said no, Mike LaFleur either commanded too much money, or the Cardinals did the stupidest thing on the planet and told him, we have one more guy we want to talk to. 98% of not just national media, people in Seattle, beat writers in Seattle, people around Clint Kubiak, people with the Raiders, people national stuff have all said, 98%, if not more, have said, Clint Kubiak's either going to be a Raiders head coach or he's going to go back to Seattle. No, not one person has said he's interested in the Cardinals job, but he's taking the second interview, so I guess that gives you hope. Well, it's a negotiation deal. So the Cardinals are setting themselves up this weekend by not giving LaFleur what he wants or impressing him enough to come here. To set themselves up they're going to be left at the altar this weekend by Clint Kubiak and look like bigger fools than they are. That's what I didn't factor in. I thought Michael Bidwell was smarter than this.
So, Coop,
go ahead.
My question is, if and we're all spitballing, we're all guessing, we're all wondering what the hell's going on. What do you think is the most important thing that coaches are looking at that make them not want to come here? Is it the quarterback situation? Is it money? Is it organizationally?
Well, here, I don't believe it's the quarterback situation. I really don't. I mean, in the Raiders, it's Fernando Mendoza.
Yes.
With the Cardinals, you're either going with Kyler Murray or you're going with Brissett. I mean,
it's Mendoza and $80 million in salary cap availability.
Okay. whatever the case may be. But so
Raiders.
so I really don't think that and if I'm a head coach, I mean, I've seen Kyler Murray do it in this league. He's an NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, a 2-time Pro Bowler. He's thrown over 120 touchdown passes to 60 interceptions. He has over 21,000 passing yards, over 3,000 rushing yards, and 32 more touchdowns.
You just have all this committed to memory, Coop.
Yeah, I do. And so it's not like I'm coming into a situation where I've got Jarrett Stidham as my quarterback. I mean, it's not the case. And so I do think it has a lot to do with the owners and what they are asking and what they are expecting. So then, once you come to that meeting, then there's a salary that comes into play.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this just me talking out loud. I have no facts to base it out. I think Michael said, well, look, my last 3 head coaches that I've brought in, first-time head coaches, I mean, this salary here
$5 million a year.
really worked.
Right.
You're asking for more and you've never been. And so I think there's some of that going on right now because
That's the argument, though. Yeah.
By the way, I'm also paying those guys still.
Here's my point on that, though. If the fact that Shula asked for too much money, Bidwell's like, yeah, right. You don't think Clint Kubiak's going to ask for a crap ton of money? The Seattle has said we don't want him to leave and we'll offer him a deal to keep him here. The Raiders want him 100%, and there's a history there between them two, and he wants to go to the Raiders. You mean to tell me that if Shula's too little, or not Shula, what's his name?
LaFleur?
No, the Rams guy.
Mike LaFleur.
Sorry, yeah, like LaFleur. You got me thinking Shula now, Don Shula all the time. If Mike LaFleur is asking for too much money, you can't tell me Clint Kubiak's going to come in and ask for less. They have options. The Cardinals cannot negotiate with people with options.
Well,
and that's their problem. And they're going to look stupid in this process.
What bothers me is that they drag their feet and they allow some of the bigger names, the more attractive names, to sign elsewhere. Now, let's be honest. John Harbaugh was never coming here.
Right.
When you got the New York Giants organization, that was never. But Robert Salah, I believe he was a guy that would have taken
He's
the
in Tennessee.
Cardinals over the Titans.
Yeah.
I really do. But you have to know what you want and go after it and make a competitive offer and get it done.
I think the Cardinals' other issue is one, the salary cap situation, because Tennessee has $100 million, so Salah went there. Raiders have $88 million sitting around for that option as well. But the other thing that hurts the Cardinals, I believe, if you're Mike LaFleur, you're Clint Kubiak, and you're in this division, Robert Saleh, you're going, man, I see what my 2 competing teams this year, how good they are for the next several years. And I see it's a rebuild process down in Arizona. I know what I'm going against. So I'll take the job, but you got to pay me a little bit extra.
Well, I think for maybe Salah, I think he looks at the Tennessee job and he says, look, even though the Cardinals.
The division, too.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going. Even though the Cardinals have more to offer, I think I can my second lifeline as a head coach, I have a better opportunity to be successful in this division versus the division that I already know had 14-3 teams in it.
If Robert Saleh struggles and fails in this Titans position, he will never have another head coaching job again. You get 2 chances, basically, as a head coach to get a chance. So you got to look at that stuff. But I think there's a multitude of things that the Cardinals are facing here, in the multitude of stuff. But when the problem is when 98% of everybody around the NFL is saying it's Raiders or back to Seattle for one guy, and the Cardinals are like, but we have a chance at him.
Well, look, I'm looking at. I know the last time the Cardinals were in this situation, they waited till after the Super Bowl. And they signed Jonathan Gannon.
They had to tamper with him, too, and nobody else wanted him.
They did. And no doubt about that. So I'm looking right now. I'm saying, is there anyone on these 2 teams? Because the Cardinals reportedly have interviewed 900,000 people for the job. All right. So, and you still haven't come to a conclusion. So I'm asking myself, who else on these 2 teams could the Cardinals possibly be waiting for?
Right.
That's what I'm wondering. Is there somebody that we don't know? Clint Kubiak's the draft here, but is there somebody we don't know
Well,
about? where
they
can take a
interviewed
stab
Ron
at?
Rivera, and nobody knew about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know,
Is there somebody else on these two teams that we don't have an idea of?
like they're not thinking the New England offensive coordinator.
Well,
Who's
Mike
who's Seattle's
McDaniel?
defensive coordinator? That's the head coach, right? I think. Or is he an
Uh,
offensive guy?
Vrabel, I don't think Vrabel's the
No,
head.
not yeah.
He's
Oh no, I'm talking about
the
Seattle.
Seahawks.
Oh.
Yeah. Is it possible they're doing a backhand run on him and
I'm not sure who
Kubiak's
their
the
DC is.
deflection? Because he's pretty good, whoever it is. I know. But yeah, no, it's just the Cardinals. The problem isn't one. I've come to the conclusion they had zero plan when they fired Gannon, which tells me they didn't want to fire Gannon. Gannon almost made them fire him. Something happened whether it's the losing or something else where they had to fire him, and they have zero plan moving forward.
I hope you're wrong there because if they can't read the tea leaves, I mean
They can't read the tea leaves. They're setting themselves up, Coop.
from a fan perspective. You can't read.
They are setting themselves up by going after Clint Kubiak. If they don't take this big swing and get him, and they don't get LaFleur on the backside of it, this is going to be monumentally embarrassing for the Cardinals.
The
to
other
upper
thing-
level extent.
Well, I
The
think the Cardinals can name their coach up through Saturday.
Yes.
Because
And
once
then
Sunday
there's
hits,
a
they
deal.
have to wait till after.
Here's the other thing I'm wondering about. It kind of hit me. Do you think that they misjudged how many openings there were going to be? Do you think maybe
I
they
do
were
think
thinking
that.
there'd be 4,
Yeah, I think
maybe 5, and all of a sudden there's 8?
Yeah, and they didn't anticipate. They didn't anticipate teams like the Bills, and they didn't anticipate teams, Baltimore. They didn't anticipate. I think the Steelers. They didn't anticipate those teams
Right.
coming open. I do believe that, and I don't know if you did. I kind of questioned it, but I don't. Ravens going to the Giants, that really screwed things up, right? Because that was Stefanski's job. And once Harbaugh became available, that pushed everybody down a little bit, and stuff like that. But I just don't get like Cleveland Browns. No, they didn't do a good job hiring, but they went and got a guy, and everybody's like, yeah, that's not good. But at least they went, okay, that's the guy we want. We're going to go get him.
Right.
And the Cardinals are like, well, we got to interview another person.
Yeah, I just don't understand why the wait. I mean, they
don't have
a
an
history
idea.
of doing this, and it makes no sense.
Well, the only reason it would make sense is if it is somebody who's still playing.
Okay.
Then you can go, all right, I guess I see why. But again, if they go up there Saturday and this guy doesn't want the job,
Yeah, they're going to get embarrassed.
oh,
They have go after Clint Kubiak 100%. But then why did you do a 2-day interview with LaFleur to
Right,
set yourself up for this failure?
Right.
You go to LaFleur and you say, hey, man, you're our guy, but we have to talk to Clint
No,
Kubiak.
you
We
don't.
promised
You
him
don't.
to.
You don't do it like that.
You know,
if
and you move
Kubiak,
on
if
with your day.
Kubiak is your guy, you had
That's my point.
if you had every opportunity to talk to him before you did LaFleur.
But this is my point. And then you spent 2 days with LaFleur. They have set themselves up for a PR disaster coming up here.
All I
and
know-
that tells you that is bad planning. That means they have no plan. That means they have screwed up this coaching search beyond belief. If Clint Kubiak's your guy, they have handled this completely wrong the whole way.
yeah,
all
but
I know is that I'm telling him, if you're interested and we are going to sign you, I'll take you to the ambassador for dinner. But if you're thinking about going home, we're going Jack in the Box.
Well, you're
Well-
not even doing that, is my point, like he said.
Well, let's go back. Let's go back to the point Steve made. He said he didn't think they had a game plan.
Zero
Well,
game plan.
if you're interviewing your main guy after you've already spent money and wine and dine other candidates, I think LaFleur is like the third guy that's done second interview.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
And everybody else is signed.
yeah.
Robert Salah went with the Titans,
yeah,
and
and
I think there was 4.
four.
Yeah, I think he's the 4th one. Yeah, because a couple of them were supposed to go to Tennessee. Like Harbaugh was supposed to go to Tennessee after the Giants, and then a 2-day there, and then they kept him there and stuff like that. I think it's 4.
Yeah. So my point is like, dude, I know every NFL team has these draft boards. They rank their players.
Mhm.
Are you not ranking your coaches?
You
I mean,
should-
there has
every-
to be some type of game plan.
every
You just can't
GM
indiscriminately go. Okay,
every GM should have if I need to make a coaching change for whatever reason, these are the first guys I'm calling to get in. These are the guys I want here. And the Cardinals, it looks like whether it's true or not, it looks like the Cardinals went, well, shit. Now who do we talk to?
Yeah, I mean, it's if what you were telling me on Tuesday, they're interviewing Mike LaFleur for 2 days.
Yep.
They're winding down. They're keeping this man here. Then that shows me that they are extremely interested.
That's
so I'm
their guy.
buying what you're selling.
That's their guy.
And so then to find out that now they want a second interview with a guy who's been reported to be the main guy with the only other job opening, and then you're flying up there now?
Both teams have to fly there.
It makes zero sense.
Yeah.
But doesn't that also tell you that everything was probably lined up and their offer was not acceptable to LaFleur?
He's getting to the point.
That makes perfect sense.
I don't think the Cardinals went, you know what, LaFleur, we're going to interview Clint Kubiak for whatever reason. I just can't believe it. It might be true that happened, but I believe LaFleur went, I'll just go back to the Rams for another year, have another successful season,
Sure.
beating your butt in,
Right.
Sure.
and then I'll have a job next year.
Right.
Absolutely. Doesn't that just look like that's
Yeah,
what's happened?
You have to pay commensurate. Sometimes you have like Mr. B used to do. I'm talking about the father,
Dad,
Dad, William Bidwell. He overpaid. I mean, I would see some of these veteran people like Clyde Simmons, Seth Joyner, Jim McMahon, other guys on the backside of their careers.
Right.
He's overpaying for these guys, Emmitt Smith, for these guys to come in
you had to.
because you're
Buddy
trying,
Ryan, he
you're trying to inject something into the fan base to a morbid fan base.
Yeah.
So he did, and so if Michael can't see the light to overpay coaches, whatever he thinks is this is what they should accept. No, dude, you have to overpay.
This is market rate
to reset the enthusiasm of the fan base.
Right.
You just got to do it.
Wait, I said this at the beginning of it, and I said the one thing about the Cardinals. Until you become successful for a while, you have to pay a tax.
Sure.
You have to pay a tax.
Yeah,
you have
sure.
to pay more for the coach. You have to pay
Sure.
more for free agents.
Absolutely.
You have to pay. You just
Absolutely.
have to do
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't,
Yeah,
they're not coming here.
absolutely.
You have
Absolutely.
to. I mean, you have to read the
No
tea
question.
leaves. Like I just looked it up. Broncos quarterback coach Davis Webb. He was interviewing for the Raiders head coaching job. He's pulled his name out of that deal. A couple other guys have pulled their name out of the Raiders coaching deal as well. The tea leaves are out there that the Raiders have their guy,
Yeah.
and they're gonna go get him. And it's the guy that you also want out there.
Yeah, and so with the name Tom Brady added to that organization, and you already let it be known that he will have a voice in this. Look,
I believe Tom Brady's making this
yeah,
decision.
I'm the guy. I'm the guy that's saying that's where I'm going
Right.
over the Cardinals.
Well, you're giving me the number one pick.
And Kubiak has a history, a closeness with the Raiders organization. He's comfortable with Davis owning it. He's comfortable with Tom Brady. He's got none of that with your
Well,
organization.
yeah. Well, I think his dad is Gary Kubiak, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
and Gary played in the league
That's
as
the
a
point.
quarterback, and he's also been a coach in the league. I mean, there's some pedigree there.
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
yeah,
yeah.
the pedigree. So
The Cardinals
Yes,
have
sir.
nothing of what just the Raiders have, let alone Seattle to keep him. He could go back to Seattle and make an ungodly amount of money continue to coach in Seattle for another year.
But if you want to be the head coach, you look at the Raiders. You have the number one pick, so you know who your quarterback's going to be. You got ample salary cap room. You got Tom Brady involved. And then you look at the
I think
Cardinals.
that's the biggest allure.
Then you look at the Cardinals, and you're like, well, iffy quarterback. I'm going to say iffy quarterback situation because I don't know if everybody believes as strongly as you.
It's one or the other,
You know,
Dale. It's one or the other. That's
right.
all I'm saying. So it's not like I have Jarrett Stidham that I have to.
Yeah,
rely
but
on.
can you also are looking at it going, can I win 9-10 games with Jacoby Brissett?
Everybody
Probably not.
Everybody goes into this and they say, well, what if the coach comes in and says, I want to keep Kyler and the organization wants to move on? I'm looking at this a little bit different now. What if these coaches are coming into the Cardinals and they're giving their plan for quarterback, and then the Cardinals go, well, here's what we're going to do at quarterback.
Right.
And then the coaches go, well, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not coming in for that.
Here's the deal. If I'm a head coach, I'm going to tell you what I would do. If I was a head coach, I would want Kyler Murray.
Right.
There's just no ifs, ands, or buts
But
about it.
as Steve said, what happens if that's the case? So you come in
well,
there.
well,
I want him.
Well, then I say bye-bye.
Right, and
Because,
Michael,
to me, I'm trying to win.
Right.
I think Kyler
What-
Murray gives me the best chance to
But,
win.
but what
at
if the
quarterback
answer is
position.
okay? So somebody comes in and goes, "I want Kyler," or if they say, "Let's get rid of Kyler Murray," and they go, "What's the plan moving forward?" And the plan is, well, this year we're going to play with Jacoby Brissett, and then we'll draft somebody next year. And you're going,
no.
why
See-
am I going to come here and get my head beaten in for a year
Well,
with this
well,
organization
see-
when I can go back to the Rams, be successful, or Seahawks, and then get a head coaching job next year with somebody that actually has a plan?
Well, see,
moving
this
forward?
is the problem that I have with so many people. You know, okay, you want to move on from Kyler, and they don't even have an idea who that next quarterback
Right,
is.
right.
Long as it's a name that has the QB next to him, they think you've
Right,
done okay.
right.
Dude, how many times have we watched NFL draft choices? First round pick,
Top three picks.
from 1 to 10 to 1 to 15 become bust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm going to take somebody that I have seen that is proven in this league that has some really elite talent.
So that's what.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I'm asking. Can you see a scenario where a guy comes in and goes, "I want Kyler Murray," and Michael and Austin Fort go, "We're cutting him a day before the new league year because we owe him $30 more million."
Well, you owe him that regardless if you cut
No,
him.
but you can save money if you cut him before because more money becomes
They
guaranteed.
owe
not
him
that
$36
much.
million
Yeah.
next year, no matter what they do with it.
Right.
Yeah, and
Minimum. They
so,
owe him that.
Right, and so
There's a variation, but they owe him $36 million.
right.
a year.
And so here's my point. I'm going to tell Michael Bidwell and Monty Ossenfort why I want Kyler Murray here, why I can win with him. I'm saying what you saw the last couple years under Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing,
Right.
that ain't the offense that he's going to play with. It's going to look more like the one that Cliff Kingsbury had when he was extremely successful.
I'm
I'm bringing in a different offensive system. So no, that's the guy I want. If you don't agree with me, I can adios out the door right now.
I just am hearing nobody talking about that. The coaches could be coming in and just asking the simple question, well, what's your guys' plan for the future and the quarterback?
Yeah.
And the Cardinals going, oh, we're hoping you have that plan.
well, it could
You're
be-
hoping you could tell it.
It could be as simple as how much you trying to pay me?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Hey, when we agree on this, well, we're gonna pay $5 million.
Right?
No, nobody knows, but Clint Kubiak's probably making $2.5–3 million a year as a coordinator up in Seattle. And Seattle is saying they do not want to lose him, so they're willing to offer him more money to go there. If you're making, let's just say it's 2.5, and let's say they give him $1 million raise to 3.5. Is it worth leaving Seattle this year to go to the Cardinals for $5 million?
No,
I mean, it's $1.5 million difference. Don't get me wrong. I'd
no.
take it in 2 heartbeats.
No,
But
no.
then he has options. He goes back to Seattle. He'll have another opportunity to go in the coaching circle next year with experience as well. And then you can make that into a $7–8 million a year deal right off the bat. This is what the Cardinals are doing wrong. They've miscalculated this whole process. It's embarrassing. If one of my managers, when I was in the corporate role, was hiring this way, they wouldn't be hiring very much longer.
Yeah, look.
It's that
If I had someone that I really liked, and it meant me, and I'm trying to negotiate a salary,
Right.
I'm going to go more towards his because that's the guy that
I
feel
want
has-
him.
Yeah,
It's worth it, right?
sure.
And if you can't look at yourself in the mirror and go, yeah, we've done this to ourselves.
And it's going to be a 5-year deal. Every coach gets a 5-year deal.
You know, and we're going to have to overpay, and hopefully we pick the right guy.
Here, AZ Central right now. Top headline: Why Cardinals are unlikely to land top coaching candidates. This is the perception going in that you have no chance. Now, maybe they go get him and we'll all be surprised. But do you also want the guy that doesn't want to be here? Oh, wait. Oh, why did you get him to come here? Well, the money's the reason I came here. Do you want that guy too?
Well, look. I think that I don't want to be lowballed. I mean, I'm coming in. This is my first NFL job. Yeah, you think you can lowball me? I understand that, but at the same time, I am in a pretty good position right now, and I can wait it out for better.
Yeah.
So, but if
LaFleur
you wanna
and
pay,
him have
if you-
options.
If you want to pay me what I feel I am worth,
Right.
what I can bring you, then we can sign that contract right now.
You're right.
My argument is if they weren't willing to do that with LaFleur, and we're just guessing, but I have a
Sure.
feeling that's the way it went.
Sure.
If you're not willing to do that with LaFleur, why would you be willing to do that with Kubiak? When you have another team bidding against you,
Yeah, and if you say because
you have
if,
two new
if you
teams.
say because Kubiak is our number one guy, well then why the hell did you even bring in
That's
LaFleur
my
to begin
point.
with?
Right.
Why for 2 days? Interview LaFleur, talk to him, but you brought him in for 2 days, which is that universal signal of he's our guy. We're working a deal out. And the reports are not that he left with a framework of a deal. He needs to think about it. He left with no deal, is how it's being said out there.
Yeah.
You didn't even get it strike a framework of a deal of here's your salary, here's your coaching side, and then if they say no, they say no. They didn't even come to those deals. It's just the Cardinals are their own worst enemy when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, you know, I was watching, I think the Pat McAfee show. I wasn't watching it. I saw a clip that was on ESPN, an excerpt, and it had Josh Allen in the back of Joe Brady, and Josh is on crutches,
Yeah.
and he's speaking to why he supports and promotes Brady for that job.
Josh Allen handpicked him.
Yeah, and so I think that has value. That means something. I mean, so the Buffalo Bills went out and got a guy that was already in their system,
Right.
a guy that everyone already knows, but they think that he can take them over the hump that McDermott couldn't.
Right.
And so if I have a quarterback who is, I mean, top 5 quarterback in the game today, no question.
Doubt. Yep.
And if that's who he wants, okay, where do we sign? Where do we
I
sign?
have a problem with that because the Raiders did whatever the players wanted the last 2 hiring cycles.
Yeah,
and
Well,
that's
but-
failed.
but
Yeah,
it's a
what
big
players?
difference. It's a big difference.
Max
players?
Crosby?
Yeah, it's who?
Max Crosby?
It's a big difference between Max Crosby and Josh Allen.
I just always worry about that step up. And part of that comes from Dale's story about Campo. Old Campster getting promoted at that point, right?
Yeah.
Let's I know we're
Yeah.
running late here. I tell you what, let's just fly through the end of the show. We don't need commercial breaks here, do we?
Yeah,
I know, because I think you want to go to the feel-good story.
Let's
what-
feel good
what's
story.
the-
Hopefully you're going to end it with a damn feel-good story.
Oh, yeah, we're going to end up with Bruce. Does AJ Styles retire this weekend against
Oh,
Gunther?
would
in
you
the,
shut up.
Big deal.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Royal Rumble.
it's a joke. Don't worry about it. It's a joke. Robert does say this, and this is imagine you control one of 32 jobs out there that pay very well, and you can't get someone to take the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is there was a time in the NFL where you could get somebody you never heard of before to take a job because it paid more than what they would make you doing anything.
Well, there's only 32 of them.
Hey, well, let me
and
tell
now people are like, that's all right.
Hey, let me tell you what I would do if I were Michael Bidwill. And and look, you already know that your culture is bad
I'm not sure he knows that.
and that your fan base has been alienated.
That he does know.
And so what I'm doing, and money is no object for me in this because I'm trying to change that perception.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were 2 coaches out there that got fired that I would have overpaid for: John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna overpay, and I'm gonna give you the compensation because it's that important for me to change the culture, much like the Broncos did with the
Sean
Saints
Payton.
with Sean Payton coming in. That's what I'm set to
But they
do.
got a new owner at that time too. Remember that was the Walmart ownership.
okay,
and stuff, so.
that's fine. But I'm just
Right.
telling you what I would do.
disagree.
Sometimes to reset your business or your organization or whatever, you
He's-
have to
It gives
He's
you-
go
done that
outside
before.
the box.
It
you have
gives
to go
you
outside
legit-
the box
it legit-
and overpay.
It legitimizes you immediately.
He's done that before. He went and got a big name in Buddy Ryan. It didn't work out, but he's like, I got to go do this.
Well,
He
that's
went
the
and got,
dad.
Yeah, but then he went and got Denny Green. I'm just saying the Cardinals as a general. Got Denny Green, a big name guy to come in. Did it work out? Not necessarily. And then he goes back. But this is what I'm saying. I know Michael Bidwell knows his fans are mad at him and thinks he's garbage. But I don't think he realizes how bad it actually is. I think he's doing all the way. He just got nominated to the Arizona Hall of Fame. He thinks everything's swell.
And here's the deal:
His-
you can't.
His people clap when they come in. He comes out of his office. They line up and clap for him when he walks out of the office.
Yeah, you can't be an owner that says, "Look, I've tried this twice before."
So I'm not
when
gonna
I
do
can when I can show you cases when you've done the opposite
Yeah.
25 times.
Right.
I mean, I'm telling you right now today, and history has nothing to do with this. Let's get rid of history. Let's deal with the facts right now. The perception of your team, the culture of your team sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you change it? The most recent
He's not willing to change it.
example that you have seen is in Denver with Peyton and the Broncos. Do that.
New
Darn
England.
it.
You can even say New England. You can look at New England. You can look at Houston with D'Amico Ryans. You can look at multiple teams and how they've changed their culture and their
But
stuff.
D'Amico Ryans is not a good example because he was never a head coach that had already proven himself.
Well,
that
you're right on
regard.
that,
But I'm
but
just
they
telling
went and
you-
changed the culture of that team from the finesse head coaches.
I'm telling you,
like Gary
there
Kubiak
were
and
two
stuff.
Super Bowl winning coaches,
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin,
Neither one of them are coming
Johnny
here.
Harbaugh, who got
You could have offered him $40 million a year, and Harbaugh would have been, "I'm going to New York."
then I would have gone to Mike Tomlin because he's not doing. He hadn't.
Well,
gone
you'd have to
anywhere.
trade with the Steelers. and you'd have to-
Well, didn't the Broncos do that with the Saints?
Yeah.
I'm going to do it too.
I don't
I
disagree.
mean, at some point, you have to reset and
You had
start
Sean
over.
Payton in the building.
Yeah, but
was their
obviously
mistake. That was their mistake.
that's the history part. The thing is, this is not like a salary cap situation. This is not like if Michael Bidwell has to spend $10 million a year on a coach, that he's going to have to move out of his house in Paradise Valley. You know, it's just a matter of, are you going to realize that something dramatic has to change?
Yep.
Because if it does, and here's the thing that I think woke him up about Jonathan Gannon, is you see what's happened in Seattle with McDonald. You see what happened in New England with Vrabel. You see what happens in Denver with Peyton.
Jacksonville.
And not only that, but in Denver, they had to deal with
Panthers.
the Russell Wilson salary cap nonsense. So it can be done in a year, not 3 years.
It can be, and let me tell you something. Let's say, okay, so Harbaugh's out. Let's say I gave Mike Tomlin a $20 million a year salary. I signed him for 5 years, $100 million.
Yeah.
All right, and his name is going to attract players
Yeah.
and things that weren't coming here before.
Right.
And his style is going to bring instant. It's going to set a
Credibility.
foundation. That's thank you. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
The players are all going to buy in, and so I've already taken a giant step in resetting and changing the culture, the perception,
Yep.
and the image of my organization. And if $20 million a year ain't worth that,
Yeah.
then I shouldn't even be. I
Yeah,
shouldn't even
you
be,
should be an owner.
Yeah.
And we said it the other day. I think it's valued. The Cardinals valued at like $5.5 billion. Well, if they went on the market, they'd sell for $8 billion.
No,
Yeah, but it's going to go
Oh,
for
it's
much
10.
higher because these things don't happen very often. You know, again, if it's all about making money and you can just sell it, split the $8 billion between your siblings and move on. Go do something else.
Well, here's the other side of it because I pulled this up because I found this interesting. NFL stadiums. Cardinals, he's making all these improvements to it. It's been around since what, 2005, I think,
Yeah,
is
something
when it
like
was
that.
built, something like that. So we're 20 years into this. You had the Bills opening their new stadium this year, Titans opening their new stadium next year, Jaguars opening their new stadium in 2028. Then Cleveland's doing one set to open in 29. We don't know when the Bears one's going to happen, but it's expected to be 2030, 2031 timeframe. Kansas City by 2031, Denver by 2031. RFK Stadium there, the new one there for the Washington team in 2030. Cardinals are about to get left behind in terms of amenities. They're doing the practice facility up there, and they're way behind on that. But they're about to be left behind in a lot of areas and to compete with their other NFL teams out there. And it's about to get very ugly for them. And it's starting, and I think we're seeing the start of it here with this franchise.
Sure.
If you want me to put it that way. Hey, let's go to something positive.
How about my Phoenix Suns, Coop?
Oh,
How about
about
Dylan the villain?
oh man, I tell you what, I was really nervous for that game. I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect the Phoenix Suns to win. I love the fact that I saw Gillespie back playing last night.
Yeah.
After missing the previous game, but still, I said I just don't. I'm not feeling this.
Right.
And right away, Duran had like eight layups in that first quarter or whatever, and it's like, oh man, this is not going good. Even though the Suns' 3-point shot was going, but I'm gonna tell you something. Dylan Brooks is an all-star. I don't give a rat's behind what anyone says. That dude showed a lot last night. He showed me a lot last night.
Well, and how about the timing of it?
Of the
night
shirts.
after Charles Barkley
Yeah.
goes
Yeah,
on
says
national
that, yeah,
television.
pushes for
The
it.
night after.
Yeah,
Oh,
hey,
and
man,
then his
hey, man,
T-shirt.
Yeah.
Suns don't
Give
win
a
that.
T-shirt away more often.
Suns don't win that game without Brooks. Suns aren't even. Are they technically tied for first place with the Lakers now?
I believe so.
Pacific
Yes,
Division?
after last night.
They're
yeah.
not even where they are
Yeah.
without Dylan Brooks.
yeah.
It's just look.
40
I
points
love everything
last
I see
night.
from him.
Interesting enough, Brooks after the game was asked about, are you playing at an all-star level? Should you be in the all-star game? Let's listen to Dylan Brooks real quick here.
Okay.
After the game in his press conference when he was asked that question.
Okay.
About Charles Barkley talking about you being an all-star. Colin was part of your post-game interview saying vote for Dylan. Do you feel like you're playing at that level?
Yeah, I feel like I'm playing at a level, and ultimately, I'm not gonna, beg for it or, do anything like that. If it comes, it comes. But the real all-star is Book. He's been leading us the whole time, and he deserves to be in that all-star talk, and being a reserve on that all-star team.
You know what I like most about him, and this is why he's an all-star in my eyes, is he took that moment to say, yeah, I'm playing like an all-star, and he is. He's playing like an all-star. But then he took that moment to go, no, we need to talk about my teammate who deserves to be a reserve on this team. It's something different that we haven't seen here the last several years.
Yeah. I liked everything that he said in that soundbite.
Yeah.
I really do.
I'm going to argue this, though. At the end of the day, is Devin Booker an all-star this year? This year.
Regardless if he is or he isn't, Dylan, and he did it earlier. Dylan Brooks earlier this year came out in a locker room interview. I saw it earlier this year. It was fairly early in the season. And he said, because Booker was passing the ball, and he goes, he needs to stop passing the ball. He needs to be the leader on this team and shoot it more and take control of this offense. Regardless if Devin Booker is or not, the fact that he took that moment to also go, yes, I feel like I'm playing an all-star.
Well,
it's going to work out. It's going to. But our main guy is this guy. Period. I think it's great.
Let me say this to Dale. Devin has set a standard of expectation.
Uh-huh.
And so while you may not see, or we may look and see that he's not playing like he did before, his value to the team has been seen in the fact that you heard it the other night. Teams they don't give us that 3-point shot anymore.
Right.
They're smothering. They're staying with us. If Devin Booker's on there, we're getting those open shots.
Right.
So his value may not be seen in stats, but it's seen in other areas. And so while his standard is not what it's been, because his 3-point shot this year, I mean, I think he's shooting in the low 30s. I mean, that's not.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Yeah, Booker.
Booker himself, yeah, he's down this year.
That's below his normal standard. But his value cannot be underscored. And so I've seen too many times where all-stars have been selected based on their popularity.
Right.
So I have no problem with Devin Booker, even though he may not be playing up to a standard, being on this all-star team.
Okay.
Because his value to the Suns is immense, and his popularity around the league, based on the standard he has set, deserves him a spot on the roster.
So if you had one vote for a Phoenix Sun that you had a place today,
I'd vote for Booker.
Really?
I would. Even though I know right now there's no way the Suns would be where they are without Dylan Brooks.
because to me, when you talk about the total package
Sure.
and what Brooks has he's brought a toughness
there's no
and
question.
edge to this team that
There's no
hasn't been
question.
around in a long time.
They wouldn't be where they are without him. No question.
And now he's putting some stats to it that obviously that's what people pay attention. I don't agree with all-star voting because people vote. Hey,
Yeah.
But here's the deal.
But this isn't the vote.
Why can't the Suns have
This is the
two
reserves.
all-stars?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something.
This is the reserve.
There are some players right now that are hurt
Right.
in the West that I don't think, and that are all-stars, like the Joker.
right? Is he going to take a spot or no?
Well, he's been voted in.
Oh,
yeah,
as a
he's
starter.
voted as a starter. Now this is the reserves here.
But they're going to have to replace his body.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee he's not going to play.
Yeah,
There's no way.
LeBron's going to become a starter. He's begging for it.
Well, but that opens up a
So
spot.
that's what I'm
on the
saying. It
roster.
opens up a spot regardless.
And so why can't Dylan Brooks have
well,
that
then
spot?
the other guy in Denver just hurt himself.
Jamal Murray?
Jamal Murray. Just
Did he
got hurt.
really?
Yeah. He's out 4 to 6 weeks, I
Dude,
think I saw the
stop
other
it.
day. Yeah. I
Oh,
want
my
to say hamstring.
gosh.
Soft tissue injuries are running rampant right now. But no, that's the issue. So does that push him up there as a reserve to get in there as well? Let me see if I have the update here.
When do they have to name the reserves by?
It's coming up. Well, trade deadline's here. Do they do it before the trade deadline?
It'll be
It'll
be done this week.
Yeah, so they'll be this week, and then trade deadline's the following.
Yeah, well, I think the deadline is next Thursday.
Oh, the next
the 5th,
Thursday.
the
Yeah, okay.
5th,
That's what I was trying to
believe.
remember, if it was 2 weeks or 1 week away at that point. Let me see here. Aaron Gordon's out, which I know that's
Yeah,
different deal.
it says Gordon's gonna be reevaluated in
Okay.
4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, it's Gordon and
yeah.
Jamal.
Okay,
Murray.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was Gordon. I apologize. I
Okay.
had the wrong player there. But
So
Gordon,
you got their
yeah.
two bigs
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, let's move up. Let's move up their spot
Oh, they're-
on our schedule.
They're still dominating though. That's the problem. They're still winning without them because Mike Porter Jr. and
well,
them are
if
still
we're
winning.
supposed to play them in March, I demand to leave. Reschedule us and move us up.
Suns are in that 7th spot there. Here's the good news, Dale, for you and me at least. 29-19. Coop,
Phoenix Suns 29-19.
Me-
What are the Lakers?
me and Dale are going to hit the over of 30.5 here. 2
Maybe
more
before the
games.
All-Star game.
Well, they,
You will.
They
You
better,
will.
yeah, they better not go on a multiple game losing streak before that. 2 wins, and we cashed that in. Lakers are right above them in the 6th seed right now, 28-19 for them. So they're percentage points ahead of the Suns. 609.
No. If the Suns are 29-19 and the Lakers are 28-19,
No,
how
28.
can-
I'm sorry, 28-18.
Oh, 28-18.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
609. Suns are 604.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
their percentage.
Hey, Coop went to Westwood.
I know. And I have bad eyesight. So when I try to read this stupid screen here. So Cavs tonight, back-to-back. Second game back tonight. I was telling Dale before, I have no expectations for tonight after last night's
Well,
game.
I'm hoping
shorthanded.
Jalen Green plays tonight.
That's the question I got. Is Jalen Green going to get back in?
I sure as heck hope so. I mean, for crying out loud. I hear that the guy's back doing 5-on-5s, and it was just an issue.
I saw film of him going full speed the other day.
Dude, come on.
practice.
Get your behind out there, man.
Yeah.
Well, they're being cautious with him, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I understand that. And
Or is he being cautious?
But Jordan Ott says that based on their last MRI that they did with him, he just has to learn his body. He has to learn to play through injuries that he's never suffered
Right.
before.
Yeah.
And so, dude, go out. Let's go.
And
Let's go.
I will tell you this from experience that is a real thing. You know, if you've had injuries throughout your career or whatever, you kind of know what your body's capable of. If you've never been hurt, and now you pull a hamstring and you miss 25 games, and you're making a drive, and all of a sudden it's like, I kind of feel it again. Your first thing is, I don't want to miss another 25 games.
Right.
Rather than, no, that's normal. A couple adhesions broke and I'm good to go.
Right.
Your mind goes, I don't want to be out 25 games. So
right.
hey, that is such a smart thing for Ott to say. Hey, you got to figure this is a new time. You're getting older. These things are going to happen a little bit more often.
Yeah, you're 23. You're getting older.
Is he only 23
Yeah,
still?
he's super
23.
young. Yeah, he's super young.
Yeah, he's old.
Then they got the Clippers on Sunday night, and like everybody goes, "Oh, it's the
Jeez.
Clippers." That's
no,
easy.
no. The Clippers are playing the best of anybody
They're
in
like,
this league.
They're like 13-2 in their last.
How about
something
you get
ridiculous
rid of
like
Chris
that.
Paul?
And they get better. Well, it's because Kawhi Leonard's playing. Kawhi Leonard's not sitting out weeks at a time anymore. He's actually out there playing. So that's the weekend for them. Arizona State plays Arizona tomorrow
boy.
at noon.
And here's
over
the
there at the bank.
Here's the outrage. Arizona State went in to play the top-ranked Arizona Wildcats in Tucson about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Final minute of play, it's only a 2-point
Mm-hmm.
ball game. The Wildcats have a 2-point lead. They wound up winning by 7. That's on the road against the number 1 ranked team in the country.
Right.
That number 1 ranked team is still undefeated, and they're coming to Tempe.
Well, here's the other side.
And-
It's going to be a road game for
and it's
ASU,
gonna be a
too.
blowout.
Yeah.
It's going to be a
That's
road
the
game.
outrage. That's the outrage.
I agree with you as well. I think, we thought the last game was going to be a blowout. I think this one definitely is going to be one. And then here's the other side of it, is it's going to be heavily dominated by Arizona fans.
Oh, the
So it's gonna be like the home team.
red and blue will be
Yeah.
well represented.
Arizona State women, after their big win over Arizona the other night, first time since 2022 for them to get that win.
Let me tell you something.
Well, we know.
I don't want to say anything bad about the previous ASU coaches that replaced Charlie Turner and her staff, but it was underwhelming.
Right.
It was very underwhelming.
Okay.
I I played the video yesterday of Molly Miller celebrating after that game and getting into the crowd. And it was after you laughed, Dale. And I just compared, I said, just think about Bobby Hurley for a minute. Close your eyes and think of Bobby Hurley screaming on the bench and throwing fits and everything like that. And then just watch Molly Miller on the sideline. They need a Molly Miller type
Yeah, they do.
person on the men's basketball
do.
side,
Yeah, they
not a Bobby Hurley.
I've been a Bobby Hurley
you have.
fan
That's why I wanted to
and
bring
a
it up.
Bobby Hurley
You
proponent.
love him.
No doubt about it. But after that press conference following the loss to West Virginia, it was a clear sign to me that it's time to move.
Well,
on.
and it's been. Here's the thing
10
in my
years.
mind.
I
It's
know.
been 10 years.
I know.
You know, it's not like, they had a blip and they won 2 NCAA playoff games this year and whatever. It is what it is. I hate that saying.
It is. And my biggest argument for Bobby Hurley was that his name is bigger than any name that
Right.
we can get in here. But the culture has to change.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It's
The
just
culture,
time.
and you're
It's
seeing
just
that
time.
with the
It's
women's
time.
program is what I was trying to do. But the women play Kansas State Sunday at 2 p.m. as well. GCU they're making waves here in the Mountain West. They can do some damage here on the tournament coming up. But they got Boise State at home over there in Phoenix tonight at 7 p.m.
Coop,
they're big
you've
guys.
been there for a game, haven't you?
What,
At Grand Canyon?
Yeah, the Havocs.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went and did a story just because I went there just because we're doing a stoing on the Havocs.
Right.
Not even
You
the
know,
bad.
I
Didn't
didn't,
even
I
care
didn't-
about
I didn't
that.
necessarily go for the game itself, but I went because of the Havocs. But
Well,
it was a great atmosphere.
Yeah, atmosphere's unbelievable.
Yeah, so doing all that. So it's going to be a fun weekend with no football, Coop. Are we going to survive?
Jeez, man, I don't know, man.
We got Royal Rumble and UFC all day yet tomorrow to keep your mind in
but
shape.
I think I do have I think the Senior Bowl is this weekend, maybe.
Yeah, I think,
It is,
yes.
yeah, they've
yes.
been
So
practicing.
I mean,
A-
I have that.
ASU has that one offensive tackle that's
Max
everybody's
Hennisher?
getting so mad at him they wanted to fight him because he's showing all the defensive guys up. It's so much fun to watch.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Well,
Max Hennisher. Look.
he's embarrassing some of those very very highly recruited defensive guys from some big name schools, and they're getting upset at how well he's playing and blocking them in practice and stuff.
the big question for me, guys, is Monday morning, Coop gets up, has his Eggs Benedict in his silk pajamas. We're in here slaving away. The Arizona Cardinals have a new coach.
Gee, if you're asking me, I'd probably say no.
Really?
I'd probably say no.
I say no. Well, we don't know when they're interviewing.
Saturday.
I know, but is it the morning or are they the second team?
I don't know.
Because they might not even get an opportunity if they're the second team.
Yeah.
The Raiders might
what do you
wrap
mean
it
the
up
second
before.
team?
Raiders are going up there as well. They're
Is
both
that right?
interviewing him
Yeah.
on Saturday in
Oh
Seattle.
my gosh, I
and
didn't know that.
and they're leaving on Sunday. He
Oh, he
yeah.
smokes?
So if the Raiders
Really?
we don't know the order. So if the Raiders are
Really?
first, there's a chance the Cardinals could be sitting in his living room
Are
going.
you serious?
you guys gotta go, yeah. Both
My
of them,
gosh.
Hey, Michael, you don't need to get off
Hey,
the plane.
this changes the whole dynamics
Yeah.
of everything.
No. This is why the Cardinals have set them up in this situation
I see what
for the
where
most
you're going now.
embarrassing.
I agree with this
results
man 1,000 on that.
on the
They've
planet.
set themselves up for failure. I was unaware of that. I did not know
See-
that he had multiple interviews with
Yeah.
the two
Yes.
teams. Still
It's the only
vying for a
chance you
head
got
coach.
because then they're leaving for San
Oh my
Francisco on Sunday. Here, so my thing is I don't think they'll have a head coach. We might hear rumors of who they're going to go with because they can't name it. The reason why they won't, it's one, we don't know what time they're interviewing him. For one, and two, it takes time to make a deal and stuff like that. But two, if they do not get this, you can't turn to LaFleur in that time frame and get it announced before the moratorium goes into effect on Sunday. So I think that's why you won't have an official word. But if you start hearing, LaFleur's the Cardinals coach, they're working on the deal. It's because it went very, very badly in Seattle.
Trust me, it should not take that long for the contract. Okay, if you agree,
Yeah, what do you
you've
want?
talked, you know what both sides are thinking.
Well,
you
I
either
am
say I'm
blown-
going to pay it.
I
It's-
can't get past it. I'm blown away by that.
But like I said, the biggest issue here is they have two teams. Seattle wants to keep Kubiak,
That's
and the
what, three
Raiders
teams?
want him the most. So you have two teams you're competing with for the guy that everybody wants. And traditionally, the Cardinals do not win that battle.
How can you allow
so now-
this to get
Yeah,
to this?
this is my point.
Why
This
aren't you
is
meeting
terrible.
with him today?
Well, Seattle, he can determine everything that he wants to do. So he was able to set the terms because he's in the Super Bowl. And he said, Saturday, both of you coming up here, How embarrassing is it going to be if the Raiders are in there first and then they find out the Cardinals couldn't even meet with them because the Raiders signed a deal?
Well, so that's where I agree with you that they've set themselves
That's
up
the
for
thing.
failure.
It's no matter.
I was not aware of that.
Even if LaFleur is their guy and they say, LaFleur, you're our guy,
but that's
but we're not going to announce it. We're going to go to Dr. Coop.
That-
It makes
that's
0
stupid.
sense. It makes 0
That's
sense to go
stupid.
talk to
You've
Coop.
already talked to both of them.
Yes.
So if LaFleur's your guy, then you're not flying to Seattle.
The Cardinals are setting themselves up, whether it's true or not, and I believe it's true, that they are going to be the team that gives him more money with either the Raiders or Seattle, and they're just being used as leverage. And they have Michael Bidwell's having to fly up there in his stupid big jet and act like a big guy. And he's going to be embarrassed up there, and it's just sad. And it's like, oh my God, we're supporting this.
And okay, and the other question I have for you is you got the Suns playing Cleveland tonight, Clippers on Sunday, coming in Monday. How many wins do they have over the weekend?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's tough. I mean, those are Cleveland with Donovan. Donovan Mitchell he's balling, man. That dude's back. And they also have Evan Mobley that the Suns have had problems with. I mean, they had problems when they played Cleveland in Cleveland.
But factor all that together, second night of a back-to-back
Yeah.
on top.
And then the Clippers. There's not a team playing better basketball than the Clippers right now.
I'd be happy with a split. I'd be happy them going 1-1.
Dale, I think I'm gonna have to buy that.
Yeah.
I'll go buy it and shopping on that.
Well, yeah, 1-1 you're happy with, but are we looking at an 0-2 team?
Oh,
is the
man.
question you got coming.
That's
But it depends on Jalen Green or Booker, to be honest with you, in my opinion. Who's playing and who's not going into that game as well. So Coop, 2 times this week.
Yeah, we're blessed. We're blessed.
No,
group.
always. I said, I told you before, you don't even have to announce yourself. You just show up here and we'll get you on air. No problems.
Yeah, you can wake up, be done with your eggs, and go, you know what? I ain't got nothing going on today. Get something off my chest.
Get some of that sun's anger out.
my wake up time's 10 a.m. guys.
Yeah. He does have to set an alarm to get here.
Mine too, by the way, just coincidentally. But a lot of people are agreeing with that. So Tuesday, you coming back in like normal?
I'll be back.
All right, so we'll get Coop on Tuesday. Maybe we'll be talking about a Cardinals head coaching. At least we'll have a rumor of one
I
that's
hope
coming.
so.
Because if they don't announce it over the weekend, then they have to wait till the following week.
Wait
They
till
have to wait till the Super
Monday.
Bowl's over.
Monday.
Wow.
And wait till Super Bowl.
I think it's Sunday at midnight that has to be announced. I don't think it can be. There's an actual time frame where they legally. But you'll hear the rumors of they're working on a deal with this guy to get him here, and stuff like that. So Coop, go have some fun. Won't you?
All right, guys.
Dale, you too. Everybody else.
Appreciate the knowledge, guys.
Well, Call 'em on Business comes up at 11. Come and join me. Otherwise, everybody have a great weekend. See you later.